watch where you step, the last note of the song, ta-dum. So that's what's doing us in like bloodlines and clockwork, all about the brain mimicking its own. Not an ounce of pure lighting in its body, left, right, left. Who likes talking fast things, big sky and wet splinters? Shimmied of a rain spout, caught dangling from a leaf. This business of love for bricks, who builds a mighty fortress only to crouch in a storm cellar? Don't like memorizing days and numbers came before us. If I send you a partial version, do you promise not to laugh? Right past the lagoon and over the waterfall, said the article, the deep sun halo blasting drum beats. Not mixing up messages, are we? Just count like it calms you. Yes, this bear walks into the clearing, that comet will return in 50 years, and her with her walking stick, prone to chicken scratches. As if anything we say with tools could bring us any closer. I'd give my right hangnail to have a brainscope like yours, dedicated to a different mind your keys and marks, making every urge into equations. No, I don't need a fraction more sun. Sure, let's plant another shrub or three. Getting into the nitty-gritty, not for everyone, for he's a jolly good speller of the spirit, the longer on stilts. Smolders like a rhythm all its own. Ever had a hand placed on your shoulder and a body disappeared? Of course we could have been contenders, poking and kaleidoscopic tide pools, anemone tendrils flashing in the sun. Nostalgia is no soup, but tends to wallow in you. Find another word for metaphor, maybe. Tie a red string for old times, tight around a milk-soft pinky. Avoid getting caught up in the locust tree late at night. Admit you see the swallows diving even with your eyes closed. 1 to 3 to 1,300 rays of color, long before the arched eyebrow and sideways sigh. The flesh of brown gave way, as it made a new song to not be afraid of.
Object lesson. 1. The world is large, but not completely large. Round like a ball, not completely ball-like. Doesn't bounce, but hears itself spinning, says of itself to itself, consciousness is curved. Then I say, listen, and the world listens. Not the peopled world, driving cars of mass destruction to work, but the world spinning in all its planetary splendor, making sounds of life as of gears, as of wind through trees, as of sun soaking through epidermis and finding warmth in a sigh that breathes cool air on hot flesh, chilling open pores, until the hairs that protect the skin stand on end like tiny telephone poles. 2. You, the dead, who feel nothing worth remembering. You, the dead, who clamor after our lives like bloodsuckers. You, for whom my grief love without the fear of death in it. There is no life here on earth without you. My love, tungsten, a filament of quivering light. The room shifts. The furniture argues for freedom. The outdoor plant grows on the inside. 3. Purpose? Denial of death following hard upon the languid, oscillating force of desire, the perspicacious elevation of concrete thoughts, the diatribe that starts in the chest and runs down the groin, the perfect ending to a perfectly charmed evening, the solipsistic concerns of the Federation of Hopefuls. This is no argument against sanctity, nor is it an alarmed effect of aggrandizement on the part of fools. It is opulence charged with expedience, elevation made to lower itself to the starting gate, where the dust swirls around the ankles of restive horses and placards herald the start of something bolder than a bleak trespass across a weedy field of muck slime. 4. Not that it was directed at her, but that she felt it as a free-floating entity, a scarf tossed into the air, come floating down, with its corners raised like a tri-cornered hat's. There is no deleting consciousness from fact. 5. That is all. The plummeting over. You may resume your family duties and the tasks that make your spirit light and your soul inconsolable. 6. Tuscany, day-dappled. Home is all prevention, like holding up the racket to deflect the ball, the colors non-absorbent or simply flat, the materials empty, the rooms full of nothing, the stores ringing registers full of nothing. Are the rocks that line the shore lonely? They don't look it. Draped in moss and seagull shit, starfish hug the rocks, snails die in crevices, coral leaves a stain. 7. By the time his face entered her mind, it had been seared like a photograph stuck in a drawer during a blaze, in which everything but the photograph had been lost. How can she be so stupid? And yet, days when she swung in the park until she touched the trees, with her knees already starting back. 8. Can there be another way of thinking about this? Am I forever undetermined? I cannot seem to find my way. The time, always the time, or time. The place, always a place. Fortitude, fortitude.
Her wingspan in inches. Not patience or boredom, embodied surrender. This is cheek to crude shingle. This is toe digging slant, steep summit. This is back to sky, belly to earth. Palms flat, flung sprawling. This is not the first great height, nor the first body placed, or first day stretch weightless, unraveling mute, like a cotton jet trail. When fingers find gravity, aim chimney or telephone wire, eyes closed, more like a question. The rugged brown pelt of a long-legged animal, left out to breathe in the smoldering bright. She thinks of dirt, thinks of buffalo, longs for an earthquake to charge from the bowels of the city, soft table on the belly of the earth, on the belly of the building, on the belly. This is measure. To think what emerges in the space of an inch, braid, cocoon, or button thread, what breaks, as in bone, as in word, the size of an eye, an earthworm, writhing. She thinks of a fish that escapes swift talons. She could crouch low, stiff legs into stomach, roll neck, inch left to right, inch angular elbow, could sundial, could curl, snug sand like white snails in June. From the sky, a starfish, but no one threatens to fuck her salt flesh. This makes her sad, then angry. Then again, the reason for each dive is not to resurface, grasping gold, gulping air. It has to do with head first, blindness, trusting of skin, to let go and be devoured, fingertip to toe, to slip sharp and graceful, a matter of seconds. In a matter of breath, the sun would go down. She wonders how long. She is hungry, loyal to a branch, a sun, a city. She is heavy, all essential colors, to hang and grow sweet. She thinks to lick her skin, test her progress. Small pores, a mother to a cub before and after birth. And maybe tomorrow the same square inch, the same sounding train will come and calm her in ritual passing, matching her movements to a distant floor.
Timescape. A dancer swings her body around in space against a film equally large as the world she wishes to imprint with her flesh. By pushing the limits, not of existence so much as the last wall. Meanwhile, a star crosses her window ledge. Only it's morning, so the star could be a worm folded up inside its own shadow. On the other side of the shade's curled hem, the moon in transition. Pushing against her indifference, she allows herself to be released into the atmosphere like pollen. Letting go of gravity bathes the energy stream required to bounce off death. Maybe she's a clam held in a palm that closes over its shell. The backs of her hands irradiated with color. Maybe she's a star leveling the distance with light. When she hurts, squitting leaks from her heart and runs through her arms until it purples the backs of her hands in a bruised colloquy of forbidden acts. Ghostly moles float like brown clouds over prominent veins and stark tendons that show the mental manipulation it took to make this live reading of the flesh possible. Laden with mental luxuries, she walks home in bare sleeves through pool of remembered distance. Ice flows obscure weeds and fluorescence as she raises her face to what would normally be the sun. Meanwhile, goosebumps become fallen markers she feels with her fingertips, or warm